Well, there's no Dembele. He's apparently agreed terms with Barcelona by taking 40% wage reduction. Raphinha, there's a proper waiting game. We'll look into that. So I guess the question is, who next? Who next? Who could we possibly target? There's one name that's popped up, and you guys might like this a lot.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. This whole Rafinha situation is absolutely getting out of control. The fact that Barcelona is able to possibly get both Raphinha and Dembele makes our situation very, very complicated. But there's still hope that maybe Barcelona won't be able to do both of them. Let's look straight into some of the latest that's going on. So this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Barcelona have matched Chelsea's offer for Raphinha, but the payment duration is longer. If a deal is not agreed in the next 48 hours, Deco has told Barca that they will reopen talks with Chelsea over personal terms. I mean, I'm absolutely certain there is no way Barcelona is going to be able to give all of that in terms of what we are offering. We've offered Leeds £60 million in cash ready to go. I think this is the important factor now. There's some reports saying they haven't matched they haven't matched Chelsea's bid. There's some reports saying they have, as you can see over here. But the bottom line is not about the matching of the offer. The bottom line is who's able to give how much of it cash right now. And that's Chelsea Football Club. £60 million cash right now, immediate guaranteed money. And any club would want that, as opposed to what Barcelona is offering. Some reports are saying half of it in cash right now and the other half in bonuses, in add-ons, God knows when. And as this report was saying, payment duration is longer. So look, there's probably a great chance that Chelsea still gets this particular deal, because don't forget, Barcelona still needs to find a solution for Lewandowski. I don't know what they're waiting on with the Osman Dembele situation. They've offered Osman Dembele a lower contract to what he was on already, 40% wage reduction. And Osman Dembele has approved it. And yet Barcelona, apparently they're waiting on green light from Barcelona's point of view. I don't know what green light you're waiting on. Your player has accepted it. So you can tell they're in some sort of financial massive stress. We've reported in the last live, they owe something around 83.9 million euros in deferred wages. They still want to look into getting, Azpilicueta, Alonso, Bernardo Silva, so many more. They still haven't sorted out the Frankie de Jong situation. So look, this could still happen. But I guess the question is, what if it just doesn't happen? What then? What's going on then? And this is what we're going to look into now. The other factor about Raphinha is Raphinha left out of Leeds' preseason squad. So look, Raphinha is leaving Leeds. We entertained the thought that maybe Raphinha might stay at Leeds for one more season to see if Barcelona comes back next season with lower transfer fee. That ain't happening one bit. He is leaving Leeds. Leeds have already replaced him with Luis Sinisterra, who's a Colombian player. So they're willing to move on from Raphinha. However, one name that has popped up, ladies and gentlemen, if everything sort of goes pear-shaped for us, looks like no Dembele. Possibly, if I still think Raphinha will happen at the moment, the way things are panning out. But if it doesn't, check this out. I know that Chelsea had a little nibble on that, and it suggested that they might be interested in Rafael Leão. If Raphinha and Dembele are to fall through, then look out for him. Dean Jones, he's quite clued when it comes to transfer news for Chelsea Football Club and for other clubs as well. He does bits and pieces for everyone. He generally gets to news quicker than many other people. Rafael Leão, this isn't too far-fetched, ladies and gentlemen. George Mendes is his agent, and we know what Todd Boehly has done recently with George Mendes, and apparently they've been talking since then as well. not just for, I guess, the biggest topic is Cristiano Ronaldo, which we'll touch on, but other players. Rafael Leão is one of the players, and there are other different players that are the midfielder that we've recently been linked with, Matthias Nunez. So there is some sort of relationship happening. And the other factor with Rafael Leão, AC Milan player. You know who else is wanting to go to AC Milan, right? Hakim Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech is personally talking to AC Milan because he sacked his agent. He's his own man now. He's doing his own dealings. He's calling AC Milan and trying to sort out a situation. Look, he wants to leave. And if we don't get Dembele, nor Raphinha, and Hakim Ziyech wants to leave, we are going to be in trouble. We are going to be in trouble. We need a particular player to come through. And the fact that this link with Rafael Leão has come through, it makes sense to me. It really does. We'll talk about from the positional point of view. I have a bit of a confusion there. But in terms of the logic, I think it makes sense. And don't forget, we've given AC Milan Oliver Giroud, Tomori. So there's a bit of a relationship that we've been working on previously. So let's have a look at some of Rafael Leão's stats now. Let me just bring that up a little bit. Okay, it's quite strong. These stats are very, very good. Contract expires June 30th, 2024. So that's a positive. He's only got about, at the end of this season, that's it. One more season left. So he's got 2 more seasons. So this is the perfect time to whether to look into a contract extension or leave AC Milan for a big move to a club like Chelsea Football Club. And I think this is where George Mendes is sort of looking at the options for his particular client. June 30th, 2024, perfect time for a transfer if you're not doing an extension. Position, left winger. This is where my issue comes into play because Sterling possibly will play in that. Yes, Sterling can play through the middle as well, but that's something we need to look into. 23 years old, he is undoubtedly one of the up-and-coming youngsters. Undoubtedly. He's absolutely killing it in Serie A, and he's doing really well in Portugal as well. This guy is going to be a superstar. And this is the kind of player that I want to get a hold of from the get-go, as opposed to Man City's being linked with this guy, or soon you'll hear Liverpool's linked with this guy. We don't want those guys to come in before us. Now check out these stats. 34 matches, 11 goals, 10 assists. That's fantastic. In the Champions League, 4 matches, 1 goal, 1 assist. Italian Cup, 4 matches, 2 goals, 1 assist. Overall, 42 matches, 14 goals, 12 assists for a 23-year-old. Don't forget, 23-year-old, playing over 3,000 minutes for the season. That's very, very good. Got that assist against Liverpool, got that goal against Atletico Madrid. And in Serie A, he's absolutely killed it. He's absolutely killed it. There's no point in going through all of that. Let's have a look at the heat map now. This is interesting to see. Apparently, he can as well play in the striking position, so possibly as a false nine, but left wing is his preferred. 188 centimeters, so he's quite tall, 6 foot plus. Right-footed player. He's a winger, although he's saying he's midfield, but he's a winger. Look at the heat map. All the way on that left side, cutting in and then utilizing his right foot. So this is my concern. With Sterling there, Sterling will operate in the same situation. So they're going to have to be very, I suppose, interchangeable and fluid. They can't both operate in the same side. So if Sterling plays through the middle, which he can, we've seen it for England as well, Sterling do that. So there'll have to be some sort of an adjustment because both of them occupy the same space. Now, goals as we've shown in the Serie A, 11 goals. Shots per game, 2.9. Big chances missed, only 4, so it's not that many chances that he's missed. Assist, 8. Big chances created, 6. Accurate opposition, so accurate per game, 75%, so he's got to improve a lot more. I feel like you need to be around, they're still good, 75% overall passing accuracy, but if you can get yourself around 80, that's perfect. Own half, 91%, of course, it's easier. Opposition half, 66% passing accuracy. It's this long ball, 75% long ball accuracy, whether it be crosses, well, we've got crosses over here, 25%, 24%, chip passes, 58%, but it's from deep, being able to switch play and then pick out a pass up front as well. Defending, obviously, he's a winger, so how much of a defend? I suppose the work rate, press, drop back off the ball, help out the defenders. Other attributes: successful dribbles 60% of the time, 2.9 per game. Total duels won 51%, ground duels won 52%. Aerial duels 43%, which he probably would like to improve, being tall. So look, overall, this guy, there's a lot more to still improve as a 23-year-old, but there's already a lot of great attributes for this particular player. I mean, this makes sense in the scenario that we're giving, Hakim Ziyech wanting to go to AC Milan. We've got a bit of a relationship with AC Milan. George Mendes and Todd Boehly had a meeting. George Mendes is the agent of Rafael Leão. So, and if we don't get Dembele or Raphinha, which I think we're going to get Raphinha, but just in case, we still need a creator. And this guy is a creator. 10 goals, 11 assists, I believe, isn't it? The stats show 11 goals, 10 assists. Overall, 14 goals, 12 assists in all club competition. Ladies and gentlemen, you let me know how you feel about Rafael Leão. A lot of you guys seem to like him. You've watched him a lot. I've not watched him heaps. I've watched him bits and pieces for AC Milan, and he's looked electric. But you let me know for the people that have watched him a lot. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, another one of George Mendes's clients, the big-time Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not going into the tour with Manchester United to, I believe, Thailand and Australia. Still the personal problems continue, but coincidentally also he wants to leave. That's the situation at the moment. Cristiano Ronaldo wants to play in the Champions League. That's the bottom line. He wants to play in the Champions League. None of these Europa League settings for Cristiano Ronaldo. Rio Ferdinand the other day in his channel was saying Cristiano probably doesn't even know how the Europa League anthem sounds. So it'll be an absolute disaster for his image. Chelsea are still in the race. Todd Boehly is able to cover the entire financial transaction, which was roughly to be around 13 to 14 million pounds. And obviously the wages. Look, there was reports from the beginning. Todd Boehly will be able to do this. If it's for a short term, Todd Boehly will be able to do this. 1 year with a year add-on, it can probably happen. But CR7 still hasn't made any final decisions about his future. I don't think he's going to stay at Man United. I really don't think he's going to stay at Man United. And also, don't forget, Portugal, if Rafael Leão's situation sort of builds up, that's another link up there. Ronaldo, Rafael Leão, we've got Sterling, AK. Maybe we're trying to do some business in partnerships. That's what we're looking into, I suppose. De Ligt, Frankie de Jong, Nathan AK, some Dutch connection there. Madness. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, clubs across Europe are reluctant to sign players who haven't been vaccinated. Chelsea were prepared to listen to offers for Ruben Loftus-Cheek despite a renaissance under Thomas Tuchel, but him and Kante may now find it hard to gather interest. You guys would have seen the list of players that's going in the US tour. Some of them I don't even know what they're doing in Chelsea Football Club. Batshuayi, there's Kennedy, there's a lot more players, and you're thinking, what is going on? This pre-season was meant to be serious for players to get fine-tuned into Thomas Tuchel's, way of playing football for next season, preparing for next season. And we've got all these brothers that don't want to be around. Alonso's there, Azpilicueta. We need to sort things out. We really need to sort things out. N'Golo Kante will be looking for one last big move when he reaches free agency next summer. If this is the case, I would look to replace N'Golo Kante this summer. I don't want N'Golo Kante to go on a free, but I guess you can't force a player out either. But I'm pretty sure N'Golo Kante will do the right thing for Chelsea as well. Of course, do the right thing for himself, but for Chelsea, there's no way we should be looking at letting this guy go for free and make nothing out of it. He still has some value in world football. So for me, someone like Matheus Nunes, if we're looking at him, let's do this transaction. If we're not willing to give N'Golo Kante a contract extension and he's looking to leave on a free for one big move, next summer, which I get it, it makes sense for himself, but we probably should be pushing the envelope as well as to what's going on. Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. This whole thing about not vaccinating, which is fine, each to their own, but if that is going to be one of the hindrance, what is the future with Ruben Loftus? What are we expecting? I mean, can he produce a better season than last season? Last season was overwhelming. Can he do better this season? He's gonna have to if he stays. Do we look into future superstars, as I keep saying, Matthias Nunez and other midfielders that, Frankie de Jong that we're linked with as well? Barcelona has actually suggested, is inviting us to put an offer for Frankie de Jong, and Frankie de Jong would prefer us over Man United because of the Champions League football. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know how you feel about the whole midfield situation, but most importantly, is the Raphinha news. How you feel about that? Rafael Leão, if Raphinha doesn't happen, which very well may not, even though I personally think it looks like it will, the probabilities kind of say that it's favoring us, but the longer we wait, apparently there's 48 hours, the longer we wait, Barcelona may just find a solution. So let me know how you feel about Rafael Leão. That's the biggest one, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. We shall see you guys for a live sometime tomorrow, generally early UK morning time. Till next time. See you.